He's really checking out that butt.
Oh, hello! How nice of you to visit the 100-acre wood. What would you like to do now? If you want to play along with the story, you just click on that little sign right there. If you only want to hear the story, click up there. If you'd like to learn a little more about how to play along with the story, click right there. If you want to skip to your favorite part of the story, you simply click there. You can hear the story read in Spanish if you click there. And if you're sure it's time to say goodbye, you may click there. Now you're ready to go have fun all by yourself. But if you need some help or get lonesome, you can always come back for a visit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to, well, ignore that little message in the top left. We're gonna do something new today, something I've never done before. I'm sure you've noticed by now, but, oh my god, the music's so loud. What happened is that I fully made this video, got it ready to go, uploaded it, all seemed well and good. And then I checked on it one day. I think it was while doing the chapters in the description, and I realized, much to my horror, that the audio track of me talking had been completely deleted from the video. There was just no track of me talking. And I went back into the Vegas file, and yeah, it was just gone. No reason for it to be gone. It was just gone. And so I was like, okay, fine. I'll just re-import it and then edit it to where it matches or something. But nope, because I didn't notice the problem until way too late, because I could have sworn I did it right, but nope, not this time. Because I caught the problem way too late, I had already deleted the raw footage, because if you didn't know, I am always out of memory space. No matter how many hard drives I buy, they get filled up with stuff like the VR playthroughs and stuff like that. It gets filled up real fast, is what I'm trying to say. My video files are insanely big, and that's fine. That makes my footage as best as possible. The problem is that all I have is the already edited version of the playthrough. I don't even have the original playthrough, just the edited version. So, normally, I would be like, I gotta re-record this. Even if it's not my first reaction, that's gotta be better. The thing is that this is a Winnie the Pooh game. And I mentioned it several times in the old audio track, but this was probably the most embarrassing game I have played for my channel so far. Keep in mind that by the time I've recorded this, I have already done all the way through Toy Story on this series. So I've done Pocahontas and Toy Story after this. And those two seem fine. I've already checked those. But this one, I just cannot make myself replay it. It's bad enough that I'll have to play a different Winnie the Pooh game for this series later, but I just cannot bring myself to play this particular one again. So I'm so sorry about that. This is the first time, and hopefully only time, I am doing a post-edit narration. The big thing you guys are probably going to notice, outside of like messages and stuff, like how the mic wasn't working, it was busted and stuff, none of that matters, obviously, at this point. The biggest thing you guys are probably going to notice is that I made the game quiet when I talked before and loud when I back to normal volume when I did the little animations and stuff, because the music in this game is pretty loud and there's no way to volume mix it in the game, because this was before that was a thing. So I'm going to try my best to match up my wordings to match the quiet parts. I'm going to like painstakingly edit everything to make sure it all comes together as best as possible. So I'm gonna do my best to make everything match up, but if I don't, I'm so sorry. Real quick, while it's on screen, in my old audio track, I was talking about my experiences with the Winnie the Pooh franchise. I grew up on it when I was a little kid, so did my father, so it's a multi-generational thing in my household. Obviously when we were like toddlers. And there was a TV show called like The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh or something like that when I was a kid. It was like late 90s. And maybe early whatever. It was a 90s show, cartoon. And it was an adventure show, and it was probably my first taste of adventure as a genre. And because of that, I hold it fondly in my heart, because adventure is by far my favorite genre. And it was just the only thing that really gave me a taste of that. It had a Christmas episode. It had a Halloween episode. I think I have clips of that. I'm pretty sure I show clips of that. But it was something that was a gateway to what I ended up enjoying later in life. And so I look on it fondly, because most entertainment for kids is very calm, very, we're gonna learn about shapes today and stuff like that. And I was not into that. So, the narrative creativity of Winnie the Pooh, but specifically that show, and the movie that was out, that was all the shorts put together, that movie, the anthology movie, I actually really appreciated it as a young kid, because so many other things were like, what's this shape? And that stuff never appealed to me. I hated Barney, I hated Teletubbies, I hated all that stuff. So I have very fond memories of that old TV show, especially the Christmas and Halloween episodes. The Christmas episode is like really somber, got very like dark colorations and stuff, and that kind of reminds me of Christmas now, like that cozy dark feeling you get as you like go to bed in December. Like I'm very much, it's definitely more romantic in my mind than I'm able to articulate. I didn't even try in the old audio. And then the Halloween one is just, yeah, I'm gonna scare people because I like being scared. I want to be scared. And that's my mentality about Halloween nowadays, is like, I like scaring people because I like being scared. It very much is reflected in my current opinion of Halloween. So those two in particular I have fond memories of. There was also like, I didn't talk about this in the old audio, so there's no clip of it. But there was also an episode where they like went under the bed and fought monsters there, or what was it? There was the kid Christopher Robin was kidnapped or something by like dust. I don't remember, but I look on that fondly. Real quick, I also mentioned that there's this moment in like the second Winnie the Pooh movie that I had growing up. That one was a singular adventure, it wasn't an anthology. And there's a point where they like look up at a rock wall and are terrified of it. And as a kid, I was also terrified of it because I was a little kid, and that's the power of persuasion in action. So all these characters were freaking out because of a hole in the wall, and so young me was also freaking out. And looking at it as an adult, it's just literally like a hole in the wall. They're like, it's a skull. Oh no! But it's for kids, so it's literally three holes in a big rock. It's not anywhere close to like being actually scary. Like I could barely make out like teeth and stuff. It has a nose, I think. So it's like I don't know why they called it a skull because it was anything but. It was just a man going "oh," but sort of kind of in the rock. And it's interesting how the power of persuasion worked on me so strongly because I was a babu. So when I played this game and it embarrassed the shit out of me, I did grow up on this game, by the way. I said in a previous video that I don't think I grew up on this game. No, this is the one I grew up on. It's the other one, the Tigger one, later on. I did not grow up on. I grew up on this one. And I just feel, I'm not kidding, I feel distinctively embarrassed playing this game, which is one of the reasons why I decided to do this post-audio correction stuff rather than, replaying it, because, yeah, fuck that.
If you only want to hear... Let's learn what to do together. To go to the next page of the story, click on that arrow. To go back to the page before, click on that arrow. You can hear the page read again by clicking there. If you click on that book, some very special words will light up. Click on the glowing words to learn what they mean. When you see those toys, you can click on them to play a game. When you see those musical notes, you can click on them to sing along with my good friend Pooh. And anytime you want to come back to visit me, Piglet, just click on that very small door. Okay, have fun.
Here is Winnie the Pooh in the 100-acre wood, where he lives happily with all of his friends.
Hello.
Alright, so we got, like, I think I mentioned something about, like, Mr. Sanders and stuff, and I completely forgot what Mr. Sanders comes from. I also misread it as Rhino also instead of Ringo's also. That was something I realized after editing, and so I'm gonna correct it here. It says Ringo also. I'm so sorry. Past me that you'll never get to hear. It was like these sound effects in this page that made me realize that I had grown up on this game and not the other one. I'm so sorry that this is a post-edit audio. It's not the best, I know, but I really don't want to replay this such an embarrassing game.
That tickles.
The very best thing a song can do is tell a story about Winnie the Pooh. Let's sing it together.
Oh yeah, we got the sing-along, right? And I get like a little bit into it until I'm like, no, I'm gonna get copyright claimed. Oh yeah, okay, so this whole part is muted. I think this is the only one I do. It was me, like, I think I was talking about something important involving, like, my perception of the characters. In this, in one of these pictures is, like, yeah, there it is. It's retro Piglet from, like, it's just an old design of Piglet, weirdly. Yeah. and it's funny because all the other characters are like up to date. It's interesting to have all of these words like looking at these words as an adult. It's just kind of interesting.
Voice is really very nice. Let's click on the musical notes.
Okay, so at this point I'm like, okay, we're gonna leave, and then it kicks me back to the menu.
I'm glad you're back.
I'm not glad I'm back.
Would you like to go now?
And so I was like, oh no, I have to go back and forth. There was a way to not have to be kicked back to this menu, but I think it took me way too long to figure that out. Anyway, here we are back. And, if I remember right, it's on to the next page, maybe? Oh no, I was still talking about Mr. Sanders.
Winnie the Pooh liked to do his stoutness exercises every morning because exercise made him hungry, and being hungry meant that it was time for breakfast.
Alright, and if I remember right, I'm mainly just going through this page, gushing about remembering the sound effects. Like, yeah, I really remember. Yes, I remember those sound effects, so. Yeah, I was just gushing about this page and all the sound effects. Oh yeah, I liked his shit-eating grin. But yeah, I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I have an audio-based memory for the most part. It's not how I learn, it's just how I remember in these, especially these really old memories. So I have like a far stronger memory of like the tune of these birds freaked me out while I was playing. I was like, I know this tune, oh my god! Ah, that hits such a mental nostalgic note. Way more than it should.
Hello, Pooh.
Oh, hello.
Oh no, the voices are telling me to kill again.
When a tummy's very round and big, so my feet can't be found, I up, down, and touch the ground. That means it's time to sing along.
So, I was talking about how, like, I really liked the idea that he, works out in order to get hungry again. That's such a funny way to go about it. And obviously I had a fun way of covering up that copyright incoming right just then. I really love that gif, by the way. I have no idea who made it, but it's such a good interpretation of the scene in terms of adult eyes. Because he does like put his head all the way around and stuff. Again with that shit-eating grin. He's just making fun of me.
Wrong turn.
Oh yeah, okay, so I was like, yeah, I remember Gopher. He's a
This doesn't seem right.
he's not from the book, if I remember right. He's like a Disney original, and he has like that horrible teeth whistle. And I would not see any other piece of media use a teeth whistle joke up until freaking Arrested Development, and not a moment before. And I still rarely see that joke. I don't know if is it considered insensitive? I don't know, but it's such a rare joke. It's so interesting when I do see it.
No bother. Only the empty part is left. The only reason for making a buzzing noise is because you're a bee. And the only reason for being a buzzing sort of bee is to make honey. And the only reason for making honey is for me to eat it.
Pooh chased the buzzing sort of bee until they arrived at a very large tree. Climbing carefully, Pooh soon discovered a great many bees buzzing around a beehive.
So, fun fact, I actually have like a major fear of bees, apophobia or whatever. I have no problem with ants, but I hate bees and wasps. Anything that flies and stings, I'm just way out on. And by extension, I don't like bees and wasps that don't sting but look like they do. So, like the dirt daubers where I live and stuff, I want them far away from me. I don't care if they don't sting. It's interesting to see Winnie the Pooh be a bear and eat, honey and all stuff. He spits out bees, but I think at some point I'm like, where does the honey just rot inside him or something? Like, he's a teddy bear. He doesn't have a stomach. Is there like a small kid in the woods just shoving honey into like a teddy bear's mouth spot, and it's like raggedy and stuff after a bit?
A rumbly in my tumbly is a very nice thing. Filling it full makes me want to sing. Won't you sing along too?
No. I think I immediately bail. Yeah.
All you need...
Ouch! It all comes, I suppose, from liking honey so very, very much.
Pooh hurried to his friend Christopher Robin to borrow a balloon so he could get some honey.
Silly old bear, you don't get honey with a balloon.
I do.
See, the kid also has a shit-eating grin. Look at that grin. Look at it. Yeah, this is one of those pages that's just a bunch of... I just look at the animations for most of it. The Saints go marching in. And then I'm like, look at this tar on your front doorstep. It's gonna, like, kill you one day, small child. Yeah, see, it's bubbling tar. You thought it was mud. No. It's tar that's going to kill you.
It's not much of a tale, but I'm kind of attached to it.
If you want to play a game with me, click on the toys.
I think around this part I was talking about how ER was like loved for a while. There's like this weird meme amongst soccer moms in like the early 2000s about loving Eeyore for being an emo kid or something like that. It was a lot of "Don't wake me up on Mondays" type of shirts. That and Eeyore and Tinkerbell, for some reason they both had like shirt lines that, like, I'm not kidding, like soccer mom types would wear, and you would see them all over the Walmart and stuff for all throughout the early 2000s. They just kind of really stopped that recently, but that's because they kind of want you to forget that they have any of these classic movies and stuff. Probably because they're gonna live action remake it any day now. I think they've already live action remade Winnie the Pooh. I might be incorrect on that. No, they made a bad sequel, that's it. Hey, it's Tigger! You're not supposed to be in this one. We haven't met you yet, Tigger. Let's play a game.
Christopher Robin is looking for some toys to play with. He has room in his bag for 6 toys. Can you help me find the ones he's looking for? I'm looking for something with wheels that's yellow. You found it! Thank you! I'm looking for something red that flies. You found it! Thank you! I'm looking for something brown that you wear on your head. Very good! Christopher Robin will be so pleased! I'm looking for something with wheels that sounds like this. You found it! Thank you! I'm looking for something orange that floats on the water.
Okay, so I forgot why I hesitated here. I was about to be like something about floating or something, or tugboats. I don't remember, but there was something at this point where I'm like, I need to stop and talk to the audience, and I can't remember for the life of me. It was probably a full rant about how ugly your mother's face is, or something like that. I don't know.
I'm looking for something orange that floats on the water. Very good! Christopher Robin will be so pleased! I'm looking for something that floats on the water and sounds like this.
I think at this point I was like, yeah, no, I'm way too old for any of this. I was already embarrassed by this point, and I think this was like...
That's just what I was looking
my
for.
ears!
Thanks for your help, Piglet. And thank your friend for me, too.
Do your own shit, kid.
If you'd like to play again, just click on the toys.
Yeah, I think it was around here. I'm like, might be a bit too old to play this. Like, I was already embarrassed before this point, but like playing the quote-unquote games, which was clearly just like knowledge-based stuff for like little toddlers. I think at that point I was like, oh no. Like, there's not even difficulty settings. It's just straight up like, you're a babu when you play this. And it's like, you can't do that, Winnie. You're going to get in trouble for blackface.
Please.
Pooh floated up and up and up some more until he reached the beehive and scooped out a handful of honey.
But Pooh, what are you supposed to be?
Well, I'm a little black rain cloud, of course. Ooh.
Yeah, see, like, he like swallows the bees, but I guess because he doesn't digest them, they get to live. I don't know. Little kid stuff, obviously, but I was, you know, like a bear, he eats bees.
Pooh. Pooh, Pooh, Pooh. As a little black rain cloud, threatening rain, floats a fuzzy round bear, a very little brain. Would you like to sing along with this short little song?
I missed this the first time, but he totally calls himself stupid here.
Just a little
Anyway.
I think the bees are beginning to suspect something.
Perhaps they think you're after the honey.
Christopher Robin!
And we never saw him again.
I'll catch you, Pooh.
Oh, thank you, Christopher.
No, Christopher, don't catch Pooh.
Pooh still hadn't had his breakfast, but he knew that his friend Rabbit always had something sweet to eat.
Hello? Is anybody at home?
Oh my, it's Pooh Bear, and he sounds hungry.
I said, is anybody home?
Absolutely not.
Think, think, think.
Can we just acknowledge that Pooh Bear is like the most unfortunate name ever, or title, I guess. And the thing is that the original Winnie the Pooh is not from like a different language. It's not like a translation thing. It's English. Yeah, I remembered this from my childhood. I think it's right around here I started to realize that the background animations and the click around little Easter eggs and stuff were...
Gopher is the name, and tunnels are my game.
Hi, Gopher. It was right around here I started to notice that the animations are a lot more random and a lot less incorporated into the scene than the other books.
Nobody's home.
I also noticed that a lot of the animations were flying things and stuff like that. There was a lot less variety compared to the other books. And that's probably because that this is aimed towards a much younger audience and it doesn't really matter as much. I obviously didn't notice it as a kid, but I think it's right around here I'm like, the animations, there's, you know, more than Lion King, obviously. But they're much less varied and a lot more random. They definitely fixed that with Pocahontas, and then Toy Story's only incorporated stuff, like, because of the nature of the animation.
Isn't there anybody there at all?
Nobody.
Doesn't somebody have to say nobody?
Come in, Pooh. Care for a bit of lunch?
Pooh ate and ate and ate until there was nothing left to eat in Rabbit's house.
Winnie is like the shittiest neighbor. I would not tolerate him as a friend. Even back then, when I was a little babu, I don't think I would tolerate him as a friend. I got really offended when, back when I was a kid, and one of my younger sister's friends, like, went into our fridge without asking. I'm very territorial, so, like, that alone really pissed me off. The idea that a friend of mine would come and eat all of my food, I would get really mad. I also mentioned in the old audio that the honey, because of the limits of animation, the honey in Winnie the Pooh is very, like, cheese looking, and as a kid, I thought it looked delicious. It was one of those things like, if I ever tried raw honey, it'd be great. And I had honey on, like, peanut butter toast and stuff, which is something I like to this day. But the one time I tried raw honey, I was disgusted. I hate the taste of raw honey with nothing on it. And so when I saw this, what looked like cheese, I thought it looked delicious, and I was offended that I did not like it when I finally got to try it raw. It turns out that I just love cheese. Like, the appearance looked delicious because I love cheese. My love of cheese only grew with age, so, if it was Velveeta or something, I'd be all over that shit. But as a kid, I learned the hard way that no, honey in real life is not anything what it looks like in Winnie the Pooh, because they make it this beautiful golden color. It's not very visible here. It definitely looks like a wad of Velveeta, if that. But when they in the movies and stuff, where they have all the effects and stuff, they definitely make it look really delicious in several scenes. And so younger me was like, "Whoa, it probably tastes amazing." And I would imagine cheese, like I didn't realize it at the time, but that's what I imagined it would taste like, and it didn't. See, I know you're just trying to be polite, Rabbit, but you should have just said no. I think around here is also when I mentioned...
I have one more pot of honey hidden somewhere, but I can't remember where I put it. Can you help me find it?
Yeah, this part's less of a mini game and more of just an extra page of animations. There's no game here.
There it is. Thank you for finding it. If you click on the toys, we can play again.
So, fun fact, when I was a kid, I thought Rabbit was, like, an old lady or something like that. Like, I had a hard time telling what Rabbit was in terms of, like, intended age and sex and all that.
I must be going now. It's almost time for supper. Goodbye, Rabbit.
Goodbye, Pooh.
Your front door won't let me go. Oh, bother. I'm stuck.
Halfway out of Rabbit's front door, Pooh stuck fast. The best pulls and pushes of his friends couldn't budge the bulky bear. There was nothing to do but wait until Pooh got thinner. Making the best of things, Rabbit decorated his new front door.
Oh, Pooh Bear.
Rabbit really should be careful touching a dude's grundle like that. You probably shouldn't be drawing questionable shapes on it there. I'm just saying. In hindsight, you probably I think here's where the line from the beginning. So, fun fact, of the original audio, I said he's really checking out that ass. But I wanted to use it as the preview audio for the video. So I re-recorded ass to butt, just that word. And that's why that audio is the only part of the original audio that survived, because it's on a different track, because I had to edit it separately. So that's why that's the only surviving audio. Honestly, the original audio, while it does suck you guys aren't getting my more raw reactions and stuff, honestly, I really doubt you guys care about my raw reactions to this game. It was like weirdly low quality. I don't know what I had wrong with my mic when I recorded that, but something was wrong with my mic, and the quality was not that good. So definitely silver lining in that I lost that audio track. You guys don't have to hear how broken my mic was at that time. I don't know what was wrong with it. I think there was like a Windows update that like resetted something, and it made it all sound terrible. So. But yeah, that audio at the beginning, that's the only surviving part of the original audio track, because that was separate. I had to censor out the word ass. Either way, Rabbit is like checking out that Grundle way more than he should. I have some questions for you, old man rabbit. I don't know, is Rabbit meant to be old? All of the inhabitants of this world are idiots regardless of age. So I don't really have a reference. Maybe it's like Piglet where he's not old, he just sounds it. Get out of my house! Quickly, call the exterminator.
Oops, wrong turn.
I know he meant to draw, like, eyes and a nose, and yeah, he draws the mouth and all that stuff, but it's such a questionable shape. Like, now that I know the difference between, like, obviously as a little girl, I never had any brothers, so I didn't know the difference between male and female anatomy to any notable extent. But now that I'm adult, I'm like, this is really unfortunate looking. What are you doing, Rabbit?
You know, for not being bad, it's very good. I think.
As Pooh waited and waited and waited to get thin again, his friends helped him pass the time. Christopher Robin read stories to Pooh, leaving out all the parts about food. Owl explained in great detail why it was impossible for anyone to get stuck in a front door.
In my humble opinion, you, sir, are stuck, however impossible that may be.
Eeyore tried to cheer Pooh up.
How long do you think this will take?
Maybe just a few days, or weeks, or months.
And Sweet Kanga made certain that the outside end of Pooh was comfortable at night. But sometimes Pooh was all alone and had only himself and his humming to help pass the time.
That's right, the moral of this story is don't be a fat ass. I love how his friends are all, like, good friends emotionally, but one's a young boy and the rest are just flat out incompetent. So are they good friends or bad friends? It depends on your definition. At least they try.
Still there, I see.
Well, at least you have a back door to leave from, apparently. All I have to say is that it's a good thing he's not a real bear. Like, if he had a digestive system, this would be a way worse time for Rabbit.
Would you like to help me catch some butterflies while we wait for Pooh to get thinner? Just click on the butterflies as they fly by, and I'll scoop them up in my net.
Shut up, Tails.
Gosh, that was tricky.
Shut up, Tails. They got, like, a literal 4-year-old for this, which this is the second time I've seen this happen. The other time was with Tails in, I believe, Sonic Heroes. That was also played by a literal child. And it was just as bad there. I don't know.
That was tricky.
Actually, Roo here is probably better than Tails was there, but
Good catch. Gosh, that was tricky.
what was the point then? If you're, I don't know, aren't you supposed to like stab him with a needle or something?
Would you like to help me catch some butterflies while we wait for Pooh to get thinner? Just click on the butterflies as they fly by, and I'll scoop them up.
No, shut up, Tails.
I brought you something, Pooh.
Honeysuckle.
Hey, allergy season, I get it.
If poor Rabbit wasn't frustrated enough with a bear stuck in his front door, Pooh's sneeze turned his house upside down.
The next time I invite that bear to lunch, I won't.
You probably shouldn't have to begin with, and considering that's his back end, you lucked out in that knocking your stuff over is all that sneeze did. Okay, so like, there's a mini game in this section that is literally just, let me put all the stuff back on the shelf. And I find it funny that I was willing to clean in a video game, but I really didn't want to clean in real life. I clean a normal amount now. In fact, I probably clean in my house more than anyone else in my family. Wow, this place is shit. Don't do that. You're gonna just step on the glass, it's gonna go right through, and you're gonna bleed everywhere, and there's gonna be blood all over the floor. You have worms? Well, that's a fire hazard. So fun fact, my sister and I actually genuinely hate candles. We find the flame of a candle to be very unsettling. We both do. And it's weird because we have no basis for that. Both my parents like candles. They've lit them before. We've never had a fire incident or anything like that in my house. At least of me recording this. I hope that continues to be the case. But my sister and I both don't like lit candles. It makes us uneasy. Like, they're not romantic to me. They're, virtually they're fine, obviously. But, like, if they're in real life, I'm constantly, like, panicking about the fire internally.
Oh, my poor house is such a mess, I just can't bear it any longer. Could you please help me put things back where they belong? First, click on something on the floor. Then, click on the place where you think it's supposed to go.
Oh yeah, this is not a real game, so that's why I sped it up. I mean, I honestly think I spent too much time on the other mini games, and this one doesn't even come with like animations or something.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yes, of course. Very good. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, that's so much better. Thank you.
I do give kudos that once you clean it up in the minigame, this page updates. So I actually really liked that as a kid, because it didn't feel like they undid what I did in the minigame.
Oh, he punched! Hooray! He pinched! He pinched! He moves! Christopher Robin!
everyone arrived to help remove Pooh from Rabbit's front door. All of Pooh's friends pulled and tugged as hard as they could.
Come on, everyone. Let's pull Pooh out.
Oh well, might as well try again.
Think thinner, dear, and we'll have you out in no time.
Scooch up just a bit more, Pooh.
I'm sorry, Eeyore. Your king let go of you.
Oh yeah, so here in my old audio, I was talking about how I actually find it very creative, and I actually really enjoy it when you use English technically correctly, but not correctly, in that type of way. Winnie the Pooh did it all the time, but I remember some other stuff doing it throughout the years, including some adult stuff, and it's just the idea of, like, your tail let go of you. Yeah, that's not correct, but it's not incorrect. Like, the message still gets across. So, obviously that's more common as you try to capture a language, and as a little kid you don't know much about the language. I hear it from foreigners too, obviously. But I find that type of not dialogue, but that type of wording to be interesting at the very
He's
least.
budging.
Kind of
I
witty.
can feel it.
There's an amount
Don't give
of
up.
thinking involved in putting it in your writing. Obviously can happen naturally as well, but just having it in writing, it's pretty creative, I
When
think.
a bear is getting fatter, because
I
I
appreciate
love
that.
to lick the platter, I must think mind over matter. Let's sing along, shall we?
Get ready. I'm gonna give him a big push from this side. There he goes.
By dingy, he's sailed clean out of the picture.
Pooh popped neatly out of Rabbit's front door and flew directly into a tree.
Stuck again.
Don't worry, Pooh. We'll get you out.
There's no need to hurry.
Happily for Pooh, this was a very special tree in which to be stuck. He wasn't going to have to worry about breakfast, or lunch, or supper for a very long time.
I have a lot of catching up to do.
Would you like to hear the story again? Or is it time for you to go?
I think it's time for me to go. I do play around with the Spanish real quick here in a second, I believe, but, I think this is, overall,
Would you like to hear
goodbye.
the story again? Or is it time for you to go?
I think I got mad at Piglet here for talking over me.
Oh, hello.
Qué bueno que regresaste.
Lado de negro.
Qué bueno que ¿Estás seguro de que es hora de irte?
Okay, so yeah, now I think we're done properly. See or no? So yeah, I think now is when I said goodbye properly. And I'm so sorry that I had to do this post audio for you guys. I hope it's good enough. It's Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree. I really doubt anyone's gonna come knocking on my door demanding a replay. So I hope you understand if anyone watches this. I hope the editing's not too bad, and I hope the nostalgia that's the point of this video stays intact, and I hope you did not put this on for a little kid, because I am not little kid friendly. But yeah, I was just very embarrassed playing this game. I think that's what I was talking about right here. So, I do not look forward to playing the next Winnie the Pooh game, because there's another Winnie the Pooh game, this time with Tigger, later on in this series. So, I really I don't look forward to that. It's going to be embarrassing. And yeah, I guess I'm going to call it there for today. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Please join me next time. I love you. And bye-bye.
Espero que mis amigos y yo te veamos muy, muy pronto. Adiós.